So you start by getting your materials. You need some scrap wood, any piece of old wood, some paintbrushes. I just use old ones, scrap wax, any kind of scrap wax will work, a plate to put your paint on, some acrylic paint. I use cream for the outside, and for the inside I use black and brown. You can use any dark colors and any color on the outside if you don't want it to look whitewashed. I have a cup of water for my paintbrushes. I forgot to add that you'll need some sandpaper and probably a paper towel or two to wipe your hands on or to wipe your paintbrushes on. So you can start by getting your paint out. The dark colors are going to go on first. And I apologize for the recording in advance because I was holding the phone with one hand and trying to do it with the other, and it's hard to look at what the phone's recording and what I'm doing at the same time. So sorry that the wood is not in the screen the whole time. But basically what I'm doing is coating just little blotches with the dark color. They're going to show through just a little bit when you do the finishing part. So you don't have to cover the whole thing. I basically just do splotches all over the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that, and then I'll move on to the next clip. So here's what it looks like. And before you move on to the next step, you'll want to make sure that it dries completely. You can see I didn't cover the whole thing. I just kind of put little splotches everywhere. So now you're going to take your wax and just basically rub the wax over the wood randomly, and make sure that you get a lot on the edges, because the edges are going to be where you sand down a lot, and it really helps it to stand out with the distressing if you get a lot on the edges. And I just go around the whole thing and kind of rub the wax on. You don't really have to coat the whole surface. I'm just doing random marks everywhere. Once the wax is on, you can go ahead and do the next step. You don't have to wait at all. But I'm going to take my overcolor, and I'm using cream because I want it to have like a whitewash effect once it's distressed. And sorry again, it's not in screen, but I'm just painting the white all over the whole thing. It doesn't have to be real even, because when you sand it down, if there's any like bunches of paint or pooling, you're going to be able to sand that right off, so don't worry about that. And I usually only do one coat. If you want to do 2 coats, you can. The one coat seems to let enough of the dark color show through that I think it looks really good. The end grains here might need more than one coat, but I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. So the surface, the main surface is on the front, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So here it is, it's completely covered, and we're going to let it dry before we move on to the next step. So it's completely dry. I'm going to take my sandpaper. I use 150. You can use whatever coarser grit you want to on this, and you're basically just going to rub the sandpaper on the whole thing. Focus on the edges, but anywhere you want to distress. Here you go, your finished piece. The front looks really cool. The end grains, not so much. They could have used some more paint. The back's kind of got a weird texture. Thanks for watching.